Hi guys, today I wanted to do a mid-year reflection, just looking at the goals that I made earlier this year and just seeing where I'm at now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, we're gonna go ahead and start with Spanish. I do want to say I'm sorry for the noise in the background. It is my heater. It is winter. I'm cold. My feet are cold. Like, it's just one of them things. I ran out of my mate yesterday, so like, it's just me and this cold little bottle of water right now. And, well, I guess it's not a bottle, but whatever you would call this container, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so let's go ahead and start with Spanish. Spanish is my baby. It is a language that I have dedicated this channel to whenever I made it originally. So we are learning Spanish, and the first goal I made for myself this year was that I'm going to be finishing the roadmap. Yes or yes, the Dreaming Spanish roadmap will be completed by me this year. And I actually have about 250 hours to go, so I'm halfway through level 6, and you guys, if I'm being honest, I'm having a rough time. I'm having a rough time, and I don't know exactly why. I think a little bit of it is kind of demotivation, because now that I'm so close to level 7 and I see how far away I am from where I want to be, it's kind of like, well, damn. What now? It's like, okay, whatever, I get it, more input. Y'all, sometimes that is like an annoying answer, like, let's just be real. And so yeah, this is how my month has looked. It's been a little bit difficult. That doesn't account for like the classes and other stuff I've done, because I only count YouTube videos and Dreaming Spanish in that. But outside of that, I'm not doing that much either. So it hasn't been the easiest. And so I've been trying to think of a game plan to get myself moving forward and be able to reach my goal by the end of the year. So I have like 5 series in Spanish that I have not finished, that I like started this year. Yeah, and I just like stopped in the middle of them. That's just kind of how I am with series. I'm not good with them. I don't know how else to put it. I just kind of do that. I start a series and then I just kind of forget it exists. So there's 5 of those that I have in Spanish, which there's a few of them. So I have Soy Luna, Violeta, and La Niñera, which are all from Argentina. And then I have Karkú, which is from Chile. And then I have Total Drama Island, which was dubbed in Venezuela. Fun fact. So I have all of those, and I figured if I can at least finish 1 season of each, I'm going to be looking really good. I'm going to be really, really close to where I want to be in the roadmap, the end of the roadmap. Probably not entirely, but that's cool. I still have other things I'm doing. I'm taking classes. I listen to podcasts. Like, it's chill. But I really need something that's going to be the bulk of my input that's not YouTube videos or Dreaming Spanish, because right now I'm utterly bored with Dreaming Spanish, and it is something that I do try to pop into, because I am paying for the service, but it is hard. And yeah, YouTube these days, I'm just like not really in my YouTube era. Like, I'm just kind of over it. There's a few YouTube channels that like I could still get behind, but like not just sit there and watch them for hours. So it's kind of like a lot. So I figure if I just get through season 1 of each of those series, I'm gonna be looking really good. And plus, it'll be kind of cool for me, because like I don't know, like I don't really finish series, like, you know what I mean? And obviously I'm not saying I'm gonna finish them, but if I could finish season 1 for each of these, that would be kind of cool, just because it's not something I generally do. But anyways, yeah. Okay, I do know another goal of mine was to read, and I'm doing a really good job with that. I've read like a book a month in Spanish, so it's been really chill. Right now I am reading Crepúsculo, which, y'all, I'm really enjoying. Whenever I first read the Twilight series, I was like 11. So I genuinely don't remember any of it. I'm more a fan of the movies. Yes. I would call it my guilty pleasure, but I don't feel guilty. I really don't. So yeah, I just love Twilight. I just do Team Edward forever. But anyways, it's a lot of fun to read it in Spanish. So I'm having a good time. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And for speaking, I've also been speaking a lot. That was my other big goal. Like, this year we have to speak yes or yes. And so I've started to speak. I've been speaking honestly really consistently since like May or April. Honestly, it was kind of slow to start this year, but now I'm really into it. And I do have mixed feelings about it, because like I'm speaking like every day. And sometimes it's frustrating, because I think whenever I was speaking like once a week, it was kind of like I would have like that long break, and like maybe I could see improvements more. But whenever it's like I just spoke yesterday and I spoke the day before that and the day before that, it's like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time like seeing myself improve. And then on top of that, it's also kind of the feeling that like, I don't know, whenever I was in Buenos Aires, in Montevideo for my birthday trip a few months ago, that trip like really solidified in my brain like, I can speak Spanish. Like I genuinely can speak Spanish. And now that it's been like 2 months later, 3 months later, I'm like, no, I can't. No, I can't. Can I talk to natives for a few hours every day? Sure, yeah. Can I speak Spanish though? No, not at all. That's kind of like how my brain is. So I think I will be able to accept myself as somebody who speaks Spanish whenever I literally never make mistakes. Whenever the point is my brain is unrealistic at this point, y'all. So I don't know whenever the imposter syndrome will end. But it's just one of those things I have to live with for now. So anyways, yeah, that is basically where I'm at. Those were like my 3 top things. And so yeah, so far so good with Spanish. So far so good. Okay, so in the beginning of the year on my goals video, I did talk about how I'm going to be choosing between if I want to continue with Chinese or if I want to just dive back into Korean. And I did dive back into Korean. So that's something I have restarted, but it is going very, very slow. It's more like a dabbling right now, if we're being honest. I'm trying to do like 30 minutes a day. Sometimes I do like 20. And I am doing a more mixed approach. I don't want it to be input only with Korean because, you know, according to the roadmap, it's like, oh, like with languages, like Asian languages, if your first language is English, like it's going to be like double the roadmap, and I don't have double the time. So it's not that deep for me. So with Korean, it's been heavy on the podcast because that's really, there is like comprehensible input for Korean, but like, oh, I don't know. I've tried it before, but like I just don't love it. So it's like, we'll just see how like that goes. Maybe I'll like start incorporating it more, but I've been doing like podcasts for like baby beginners and then like a little bit of like grammar study, but not so much grammar study to learn something new, but to like make light bulbs go off in my head, because like I have so many years on and off with Korean that it is difficult to like be like in the beginner stage but like still know what's going on. Like it's very awkward. I'm just like in a very awkward spot with it. So yeah, it's more of that. It's more of me trying to navigate the awkwardness of restarting Korean and trying to like get to like a spot where it's like, okay, like I actually feel like I'm like learning something, and like it's not just like all like repetitive or just like, okay, but like this is too hard and this is too easy. Like it's really awkward right now. But yeah, I would say my goal for the end of the year with Korean is that I would like to at least be able to like start getting into webtoons a little bit as a way to really be studying vocabulary, because in the past, literally the way I learned Korean vocabulary in the past was through K-pop. Back in the day, there was a channel that no longer exists, but it was so good because it literally would have like, I don't know, like a lot of songs from like Girls' Generation and like Shiny, like I'm throwing it way back, but and it would like break down the grammar and the vocabulary that's being used. And so literally I owe so much of what I know about Korean to this day to that channel, because I still haven't forgot it. So it's like I wish something like that existed, but then again, like I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of K-pop groups these days, so like would it even really matter? But yeah, I just need something that like I'm more interested in to help me retain the vocabulary in Korean. And the last 2 languages on my list for this year that I wanted to start learning were Portuguese and French. And y'all, whenever, I don't know, there's just something about the beginning of the year that like just gets you really hyped up and like, you know what, I can do this. And it's like, no, maybe probably not. Actually, a few months ago, I did start dabbling in French and I got to like 7 hours before like I got bored and I stopped. And now with Dreaming French coming out, it's like, oh, I'm glad that I added that language to my list. However, I will not be starting Dreaming French this year for nothing. I want to feel so much more advanced in Spanish before I do any of that. And so that also goes with Portuguese. Sadly, Portuguese will be pushed off again. I've been wanting to learn Portuguese for a while, but she shall be pushed off until I'm just at a stronger level in Spanish. I don't know. I just want to feel a lot more confident in my Spanish before I really start diving into Portuguese and then French. And yeah, now that I'm doing Korean here and there, I just don't have the time. So that is probably the last that you'll be hearing about Portuguese and French. However, they will not be gone forever, just for a while. But anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Just a little bit of how I'm doing. I am excited to see what it's like at the end of this year. I still have a lot of growing to do, a lot of learning to do, a lot of reading to do, a lot of input to get. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just really excited. And yeah, how has your year went up until now with your language goals? Are you making them? It's never too late. And if you're not making them, not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? There is always a new day. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.